Hi, my name is Emily Autrey, and I am the project manager for this crop season's Opal marketing and communication strategy. I'm going to be giving an overview of this project and talking about my progress so far as project manager. So I thought I'd start by giving an excerpt from the project charter that states the main project's deliverable, the project dates, as well as a project description. But the main deliverable for this project is a season-long marketing and communications campaign driven by a strategy that sets up Opal apples and its brand to be protected against competition and the expiring growing patent. And what I mean by that is in the year 2025, anyone in North America can plant and grow this variety, and it's this campaign's goal, as well as future campaigns' goals, to make sure that when that does happen, there is a demand for those growing this variety to sell and market it under the Opal brand. But this project basically is two-sided. So one side of the campaign is focused towards our customer base, marketing it towards our customer base in the broader industry. And then the other side of the campaign is focused on the end consumer. Here I've just included a list of key stakeholders for this project. Here I've listed our 3 goals for this campaign. One thing I reference in the project final report is the marketing bullseye, so I thought I would just include an image of it here. These campaign components are a result from that pre-work I was talking about, so the research phase, the overarching strategy, and then the campaign goals. So each of these components is aimed at accomplishing those campaign goals, and they also put together make up the marketing bullseye. This is a screenshot of scenario number 1's budget, but again, we actually had 4 scenarios for this campaign, and we ended up being between scenarios 3 and 4 in terms of final approvals. Here I've listed out key dates starting with the launch meeting April 5th and then ending with final reporting on May 31st. Here is what scenario number 1's timeline would look like in terms of when each component would run. One thing that this project has taught me is just how important the planning phase is. While I feel like I did a fairly good job of getting all of my ducks in a row, I've definitely learned a few things that would have made this process better and might have gotten me closer to budget scenario number 1 as opposed to where we actually ended up. But it is a very meticulous planning process for a campaign of this size, and it really is that retail integration portion that is continuing to provide or continuing to be the most challenging. Because I live down in the weeds, I tend to not make the updates that I'm giving to senior management at a high enough level. So while I'm excited to share with them about everything, I've learned that there's certain updates that don't necessarily need to make their way up to senior management. The budget approval process, we did that in chunks. We did kind of the fixed variables in the budget first, so we could get those contracts squared away, and then we kind of left the variable components to the budget up to the last minute, or when we were able to get those crop estimates and finalize retailer plans. I think I want to try to figure out the timing in a way that we can just get one budget figure approved as opposed to just getting it done in chunks. And then this is my first time being in charge of a budget this size, so I think I've got a format down that will hopefully continue to serve me throughout the rest of this season. I've learned that we need to start conversations with retailers earlier. It is difficult by the time we know what our crop looks like. Retailers are already well underway in planning, so there's definitely some improvements needed there. And then in marketing, people will ask for all of the things, and it's my job to get them on board with a more targeted plan in a way that makes them comfortable and that they'll know this is the most effective way to accomplish their goals.